Hi everyone, welcome to the basics of Python session. Okay, today we are going to see why do we use Python in our day-to-day life of programming. Okay, it is a very powerful and versatile programming language which has gained immense popularity in the recent years. Okay, in this session we'll start from the very basics and we'll be gradually developing an understanding in the programming concepts in Python. Okay, by the end of this session you will be having a overall solid foundation in the basics of the Python. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into this. Okay, so we'll be covering overall these topics and we'll be seeing how to code basically in Python. Okay. Okay, what is Python? It is a high level interpreted general purpose and programming language. Okay, so what do you mean by this high level? Python provides abstractions that allow you to focus on logic of the program rather than dealing with the memory management. Okay, low level details like memory management. Okay, in C++ and all you will be writing some code for memory management also, but in Python that is not needed. Okay, this makes Python code easier to write, read and maintain. Okay, interpreted, unlike C and C++ languages where you compile the code into the machine language, Python is executed line by line by the Python interpreter. Okay, this results in more flexible and interactive development process. Okay, and it is a general purpose language. See, it is not specialized for any particular programming task. Okay, instead it is designed to be versatile and applicable to wide range of domains from web development to scientific computing to automation. For various purposes we are using this Python language. That is why it is general purpose. Okay, it was created by Guido van Rossum, a Dutch programmer, and it was released in 1991. Okay, since then it has grown in popularity and become the most widely used programming language in the world. Okay, what are the features of Python? Okay, it is simple and very easy to learn. Okay, Python's syntax is designed to be intuitive and readable, making it ideal for the beginners to learn easily. Okay, the language emphasizes simplicity and elegance, allowing developers to express concepts in fewer lines of code compared to the other language. Compared to Java, in Java you will be writing some 10 to 15 lines of code. For the same concept in Python you will be completing it in 2 lines or 3 lines of code. Okay, versatile. Okay, one of the Python's greatest strength is its versatility. It can be used for a wide range of purposes including web development, data analytics, artificial intelligence, automation, scientific computing and more. Okay, for different purposes we can use this. Okay, next is interpreted language. That is, as I already told, it is an interpreted language, which means the code is executed line by line instead of executing it fully. Okay, it has a large standard library. Okay, it comes with a comprehensive standard library package that includes modules for performing common tasks which is repeated. Okay, this extensive collection of built-in tools reduces the need for developers to invent the wheel and enable them to quickly build powerful applications. Right. Next is large community and ecosystem. Okay, it has a vibrant and active community of developers who contribute to the ecosystem. This community driven development results in a wealth of resources, documentation, third party packages which are available for Python developers. Okay. Next is use cases of Python. Where do we use this Python? Vastly. Okay. The first one is web development. It is used to build dynamic and scalable web applications. Frameworks like Django and Flask provide developers with powerful tools and abstractions for rapidly developing web applications. Okay, these frameworks can handle common tasks such as URL routing, database interaction, user authentication, which allows developers to focus on building features and delivering value to the users. That is, Django and Flask frameworks comes with inbuilt libraries and packages, so that there is no need for the developers to develop it from the scratch. Okay, some of the common applications that are developed using Django or Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, all those things. Okay, the next is data science and analytics. So Python has become a default language for data science and analytics because due to its extensive libraries and tools for data manipulation, visualization, and libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Skyplot, all those things provide efficient data structures and functions for working with the larger data sets. Okay, and Python's simplicity and flexibility makes it a preferred choice for data scientists to work on different range of products. The next is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, it is widely used in the field of AI and ML due to the ease of extensive libraries and vibrant community. Okay, frameworks for AI and ML like TensorFlow, PyTorch, which provide developers with powerful tools for building and training neural networks, deep learning models, and other machine learning algorithms. Python's expressive syntax and rich ecosystem of libraries makes it an ideal language for prototyping, experimenting, and deploying the AI and ML solutions. The next is automation and scripting. See, Python scripts can be used to automate tasks such as file manipulation, data processing, web scraping, and system maintenance. These things can be automated in Python scripts. Tools like Python standard library and third-party packages provide developers with wide range of modules and functions for interacting with the operating systems, file systems, network, and other system resources. Okay. The next is the syntax of Python. Let us see about the syntax. Okay. Python code is typically written in plain text file which is understandable by the user easily. Okay. With the .py extension, as in if you write a HTML file, you will give file name .html. Likewise, for a Python file, you will give file name .py extension. Okay. This convention makes it easy to identify Python files and allows them to executed by the interpreter of the Python. Okay. Significance of indentation. Okay. What is this indentation? So, indentation means whenever you write the code, it has to be having a proper indentation. Then only it will be working. Okay. Unlike the other languages that use curly braces or keywords to denote the code block, Python uses indentation to indicate the beginning and end of the block. That is, for example, if you are going to write an if condition, you will be writing if space condition colon, then in the next line you should give a tab space, then only you should start your code. I will explain this once we are going to the practical programs. Okay. The next is dynamic typing. Okay. It uses dynamic typing, which means we don't need to declare variables and its type explicitly. When you assign a value to a variable, Python automatically determines the data type based on the value assigned. This allows users to be more flexible and they can write proper code, as you can use variables without worrying about their data type. For example, you can just give x is equal to 5 or y is equal to a 5 point something 5.14, anything like that. It will be taken, x is equal to 5, it will be taking it as integer, and y is equal to 5.14, it will be taking it as float. If you give one more variable, z is equal to, inside double quotes, if you are giving your name, that will be taken as string. If you are giving in one more variable, for example, a is equal to true or false, that's all, not inside double quotes, only just true or false if you are giving, it will be taking as boolean. These are the different data types that we already know, right? Okay. So the next is getting started with Python. Now what shall we do is, we'll install Python in our system, then we can see the next topics. So let us see how to download Python in our system. So go to Chrome or whichever browser which you prefer and just say Python download. In this you will be getting this python.org website. Here if you go in the download session, you will be having different Python version. It is recommended to download the version of Python which is released previous to the latest release, because security fixes or bug fixes will be done in the latest release, so it is advisable to go for the previous version. So I'll download Python 3.11.4. I'll just say download. In this page, scroll down and you will be finding this Windows installer 64-bit. If your system is 64-bit system, then you can download this directly. If yours is 32-bit, you can download this Windows installer 32-bit. Mine is 64, so I'll just say Windows installer 64-bit. So it will be downloaded here. After downloading, we have to execute that setup file. Okay, so it is downloaded. I'll just double click and run this file. Okay, here you have to see this here. Instead of before clicking install now, see there is a checkbox here saying add python.exe to path. You have to check this in order to make your Python available for your entire system. So if you click on install now, your setup will be in progress and your file will be installed. Once after installing, you have to go into your command prompt and check if your Python is installed. Let it install. I'll just open the command prompt and keep it for now. Go to your Windows and say cmd. Your command prompt will be there. Just click on it. Command prompt is open now. Wait for this installation to be completed. Okay, just close this, and here if you type Python version and check if some version comes. Okay, now it is saying Python was not found. Again I'll reopen the command prompt now, and I'll just say Python version. See, now it is coming. Why? Because I have opened the command prompt before the Python was installed. That is why it was saying not found. Now after refreshing the command prompt, it is giving the Python version. And to work with this, just type Python. It will be going into the Python interpreter. So here we can type our Python programs and we can get our output also. Okay. So for today I will be showing you the programs in the online compiler. Okay. I'll just give the programs in program is online compiler instead of giving there. Okay, for a good understanding. So let us start with variables in Python. Okay, variables are used to store the data in Python. They act as a placeholder for values that are to be stored and manipulated throughout your code. You can assign a value to a variable using the assignment operator, which is equal to. Okay, these are the few examples for variables. Okay, so the next is data types in Python. Python has different data types, say integer, float, strings, booleans, etc. Okay, we'll see in detail later. Okay. The next is basic operations that we can do in Python. Python supports various operations for performing arithmetic calculations such as addition, multiplication, division, exponentiation, etc. Okay. So these are the examples for this. Basic arithmetic operations. First one is 10 plus 5, which performs addition. Next is subtraction, multiplication and division, and exponentiation. See, exponentiation, what it does, it raises the first number to the power of the second, that is 10 power 2. Okay. Next is string concatenation. Okay, string concatenation is the process of combining two or more strings into a single string. Okay, it is performed using the plus operator. In this, we have concatenated hello and world using the plus operator. Okay. The next is sequence data types. Sequence data types represent collection of items that are ordered and indexed, and it is stored in the database. Okay, here are the main built-in sequence data types in Python, which are list, tuples, strings and ranges. Okay, let us see one by one. Okay, lists in Python. Okay, lists are mutable sequences in Python, that meaning that the elements in the list can be modified after the creation. Okay. Lists are represented by the square bracket. We can define list by using square bracket, and elements in a list can be of different data types. We can use different data types in a single list. Okay, and also list allows duplicate elements, that is we can have same value appear multiple times in a list. List supports various operations such as appending, inserting and removing the elements. Let us see an example for lists. Okay, I am declaring a variable here. My list is a variable name, and here I am defining a list. For list, it should be within a square bracket. So I am saying within a square bracket 1, comma. Say a list can have different data types. So I am giving apple, comma. This is a boolean value, true or false, comma, 3.14. So it can hold, see, this list can hold multiple data types, okay, and also it can have duplicate values, so you can have 1, 2 times also, okay. This is a list in Python, okay. How to access the elements in this list? Just I'll say print of. Print is a function used to print the variables value in the output screen, okay. So what I'll say, print of my underscore list. Let us see what this shows. It is showing the list fully. So for example, if I want to print only this first element, so for this what I'll do, print of my list, I have to index. My index starts from 0. Every time, each time my index will be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So here I'll say my list of 0. Okay. Let us see the output now. See, now it is showing 1. Okay. Likewise, I want to print the list in which I want to print apple alone. For that, I'll give my list of 1. I'll just say run. It will be printing the apple. So you understood this. The next one is modifying the elements in the list. For example, I want to modify this true to false. So for that, what I'll do, my list of what is the element that I need to modify, this true. So what is the index of this? 0, 1, 2. So my list of 2 equal to, I'll say instead of true it has to be false. Now when I print my list, see, here the list value is changed, right? So this is how you modify the elements in the list. What if I need to add one more element in the list? So for that, I'll just say there is an inbuilt method for adding element in the list. MyList dot append of. Okay, MyList dot append of. Okay, I'm adding an element in the list. Print my underscore list. So here see, with my list one more element is added. This is how you can manipulate things in list. Understood? Okay. So next we'll see the next data type. Okay. Tuples. Okay. Tuples are immutable sequence in Python, that is, we cannot modify the elements in the tuple. In list we were modifying the elements in the list, right? But in tuple we cannot do so. Only we can access the elements and just see it. We cannot modify it. Okay. Tuples support operations like indexing, slicing and accessing the elements. Okay. It does not support only the modification. Okay. Okay. It's likewise in tuple also different data types can be given inside a tuple. Also tuple is represented by a parenthesis. List is represented by a square bracket. Tuple is represented by a parenthesis. Let us see this with an example. Okay. So I will modify this only. Instead of my list, I will say my tuple. Okay. So tuple should be in parenthesis instead of square bracket. This is what will be differentiating a list and tuple. Likewise, accessing the element of a tuple is the same as accessing the element of a list. Okay. So here I will just say my tuple. See, it is accessing like that only. Okay. Tuple slicing, we can also show only the particular part of the tuple elements. So, for example, I need to show only the last three elements, not the first element. For that, what I'll do, I'll just say print of my tuple 1:3. See, 0, 1, 2, 3. So, from 1 to 3, I have to show. So, I have indexed like 1:3. This is what is called slicing. Okay, I have made a spelling mistake here. Okay, see here, apple, true and 3.14 should be shown. But for us, only apple and true is shown. Why? Because when you want to show the last element, you have to index it one more element. Okay, if you give till 4, it will be showing till 3. Okay, well, this is what is slicing in tuple. Okay, we'll go to the next data type. Okay, strings. Okay, strings are immutable sequence of characters in Python, meaning once created, their contents cannot be changed. Okay, they are commonly used to represent the textual data. Okay, the strings are represented by single or double quotes. Okay, we can represent the strings with single or double quotes. Indexing allows you to access the individual characters within the string. In strings also indexing is possible. Okay, and what else strings supports is slicing and various string manipulation operations it supports. Okay, and slicing enables you to extract substrings from a string by specifying the range of indexes. Like we did it in tuple, in strings also this is possible. So we'll see the example for strings. Okay. I am declaring a variable named myString. In this, I am saying hello world. Okay, this is my string now. Okay. Now, what I'll do for accessing the characters of the string, the same thing. Print. If you say print my string, the whole string will be printed, right? So now I am saying print my string of 7. What will be printed? Let us see. O is printed. So see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7th character is O. So that is printed. So for example, I want to print this world alone with all this. So what I'll do, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 6th element, right? So I'll say print my string 6th element, right? 6 colon. I'll just leave this empty. Till the last it will be printed. See? Only the world it is printing. This is slicing in strings. Okay. The next is ranges. Okay. Ranges represent a sequence of immutable sequence of numbers. Okay. Ranges also are immutable. Okay. Ranges are created using the function range of. Okay. Which takes start, stop and step values. Range function takes 3 values as the argument. Okay, they represent the sequence of number from start value to the stop value, but not including the values in the middle. Okay, so we'll see the range function example. my is equal to range of 5. So I have defined range of 5 now. So now what I'll do, for I am using a for loop, for num in my underscore range, print num. Okay. So see, I've spoke about indentation, right? See, when I'm writing a for loop, after this for loop, my print function is indented for a tab space. This is like this only, it has to be in Python. Okay. So now if I run this, what it is doing, 0 to 4, it is printing. That is, in my range, what I am having, I have range of 5, meaning 0 to 4. A range usually takes 1 to it will take from the starting value till the value before the ending value. Okay, so here the value is 5, so it will be taking 4. If the value is 100, it will be taking till 99. Okay, so 0 to 4 it is taking and it is printing. So for example, here I am saying 1 to 10. Okay, now if I say run, 1 to 9 will be printed. Starting value, ending value. It will be printed. Ending value will not be printed in range. Before the value of the ending value will be printed. Okay. So it will be taking start value, stop value and step value, right? So here I want to print only the even numbers or odd numbers. Anything is fine. So I will be printing the even numbers, or I have to step 2 numbers. So what I'll say 2. Now see what it is doing. It is skipping one number in the middle and it is printing. If I say step is 3, it will be skipping two numbers and it will be printing the third one. Right? So you understood this start, stop and step values. Okay. Okay. So the next one is dictionaries. So these dictionaries are the mutable collection of key value pairs in Python, which allows you to store and retrieve data based on the keys rather than the numerical indices. See, in tuple lists and all, we were and strings and all, we were using index values for accessing the elements. Instead, in dictionaries, we will use key values to access an element. Okay, each element in the dictionary will contain key and its corresponding values separated by a colon. Okay, keys in dictionary must be immutable while values can be of any data type. Okay, keys cannot be changed but values can be changed. Okay, dictionaries also allows duplicate values but not duplicate keys. Key value will not be duplicated in dictionaries, but the values for the key will be duplicated. Okay. Okay, we'll see a example for dictionaries also. My underscore dict. So it will be in key value pairs, right? I am saying the key is name. Okay, value will be any name. Okay, next is age. 25. City. Coimbatore. So here what I have given a value. See, instead of giving just the values, I have given key with values. Now if I want to access this dictionary values, I can access this dictionary key so that it will be displaying the values. Basically this dictionary is the format of JSON type. Okay, have you heard of JSON? JSON file will be the files used for transferring data from one application to another application via APIs. Likewise, in dictionaries, we'll be storing it in key value pairs. Now, for accessing the values using the keys, I am giving the print statement now. Just see, my underscore dict of, instead of giving the index values, I am just saying print the city. Now if I run this, it will be printing this value for that key city. Okay. Likewise, if you want to print the age, print my dict age. Run. So that will be printed. Okay. Now if I want to add a new key value pair here, I want to add one more key value pair here. For that, I can add a new key value pair like this. My dict of, I'm going to add a new key, right? So I'll be adding a new key named gender, and that value is female. So I'll print and see what is there in my dictionary now. Okay, see, now this one is also added. So this is how we add elements to a dictionary. Okay. Okay. Next we'll see about sets in Python. Okay. Sets are the mutable collections of unique elements in Python. We cannot have duplicate values in sets. Okay. Sets are represented by curly braces and they are unordered, meaning that the order of the elements is not guaranteed in the sets. Okay. Sets can be created using set of function or by enclosing it in the curly braces. Okay. It is useful for various operations like finding unique elements, union, intersection, difference, all those things can be done in set elements, and it can be used to eliminate duplicate elements from the lists. Okay, we'll see example for set also. My set equal to 1. So I have defined a set like this. Now I will say my set dot add. This is to add an element to the set. Add of, I am adding one more element. Okay, now if I print this and see, the element will be added. So it's taking time since my network is slow. Okay, let the output come. Next is, I have shown here adding. See here, 7 is added to the set. Now I will remove one element from the list. Let us say my set dot remove of, I'll just remove 3. Sorry, I haven't printed, right? Print of okay, see 3 is removed from the set. Okay, and we have set operations like union, intersection and differentiation, right? So that we'll see with one more. Set 1, I am defining set 1 equal to 1, 2 and 3, and set 2 equal to 3, 4, 5. Here what I'll do, I'll just say print set 1 dot union of set 2. Okay, I'll just say union. Next what I'll say, print set 1 dot intersection of set 2. Next is print set 1 dot difference of set 2. Okay, I'll just say run. Okay, here see, union means it will just combine these two sets, whatever the value may be. So here see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but it has removed the duplicate values, right? 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. 2 times 3 is there, right? But in union it is removing the duplicate values and it will be printing all the values. Okay, the next is intersection. Whichever value is common in these two sets, that will be printed. So only 3 is common, so 3 is printed. Okay, in difference what it is printing, whichever values are unique in these two sets, that alone will be printed. Sorry, it's not like that. Set 1 dot difference of set 2 meaning set 1 will be printed with the values that are unique to set 1. Whichever values that are in set 2, it will not be printed. It will be subtracted from the set 1. For example, see if you have 5, 4, 9, 8. Okay, now what will be printed in differences? 1, 2, 9 and 8 will be printed. 1, 2, 9 and 8 will be printed. Okay, so you understood this? Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, conditional statements. Okay, what are conditional statements in Python? They are used to execute different blocks of code based on the certain conditions. They allow you to control the flow of your program by making decisions. Okay, conditional statements are constructed using if, elif and else statement. Okay, in other programming languages we have if, else, all those statements, right? Likewise in Python we have if, elif, that is else if, that is what is mentioned as elif here, and else. Okay, so let us see an example for this conditional statement also. X is equal to 10. Here I am using an if statement. If x greater than 0, colon. Okay, all the conditional statements, looping statements, functions, everything should be beginning with an indentation with this colon. Okay, after this colon, if you type enter, indentation will be coming. Okay, now I am printing print of x is positive. See, if x is greater than 0, it will check for the value. If this 10 is greater than 0, it will print positive. If this condition is not matching, it will go to this elif x equal to 0. It will be checking if it is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then it will print x is 0. Else, if both these conditions doesn't satisfy, just print x is negative. Okay. Now I'll just run this. Now it is saying x is positive. Here I'll say minus 4 now. Run this. See, it is saying x is negative. If you say 0, say x is 0. We understood this if, else. If this condition satisfies, here itself it will be printed and will be exiting the statements. If this condition is not satisfied, it will go for elif, and if this is satisfied, it will print this and come out. If both these conditions are not satisfied only, it will be going to the else part. This is what is called conditional statement. Next is loops. Okay. Loops are used to iterate over sequence of data or execute a block of code repeatedly. Okay. They allow you to automate repetitive tasks and perform the operations on collections of data. Okay. We have two loops, for loop and while loop. Okay. For loop is used to iterate over a sequence such as the list, tuple or range. Previously we were seeing this also, right? And execute the block of code for each element. Whereas while loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a specific condition is met. Okay. So we'll just see an example for this also. Fruits is equal to apple, banana, orange. So this is a list containing 3 elements. So I'll say for fruits, for fruit in fruits. I'll print all the elements. Print. So this will iterate over each and every element in the list and it will be printing all those things. This is what is a for loop is used for. Next is a while loop. X is equal to 0 and I am defining. Next I will say while x less than 5. It will check the condition, then print x. After this what I am doing, x is equal to x plus 1. Okay. Or I can say x plus equal to 1. Both ways are correct. X is equal to x plus 1. What this will do, initially my x value is 0. Now it will be coming here 0 less than 5 true. So it will print 0. After that it will change the value of the x to 1. Right. After this it will come outside the loop. Again it will go. It will run 1 less than 5 true. Print 1. Then again increment. Again go up. 2 less than 5 true. Again it will print 2, increment the value. Again this loop will be executed until this value is satisfied. So let us run this and see. See, up to 4 it is printed. Okay. If you say x less than or equal to 5, it will be printing up to 5. Okay. This is what a while loop is used for. Okay. Understood? Okay. Next is control statement. Okay. Control statements like break and continue are used to alter the flow of execution within the loops in the Python. Okay, we were using loops, right? In that, if you want to execute something differently, then you can use break or continue statements. Okay, break statement is used to exit the loop prematurely or immediately, terminating the execution of the loop. Whereas the continue statement is used to skip the rest of the code in the current iteration and proceed with the next iteration. Break will come out of the loop only. Continue will continue from the first, skipping the last iterations of the loop. Understood? So we'll see example for that also. Okay. So for fruit and fruits, print fruit, right? So here itself I am giving condition if fruit equal to banana. Okay. After printing banana, I have to exit the loop. So what else I am saying? If fruit is equal to banana, then say break. Okay. What this will do, as soon as this iteration comes, it will be coming out of the loop and it will not print orange. See, only 2 are printed. Okay, this is what is a break used for. Next, in continue, see here, I'll say, instead of this, x is equal to, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 5, okay. For num in x, if num mod 2 equal to 0, continue. Okay, what I am saying, I will just iterate over this in a loop. Whenever I am taking this number and dividing it by 2, if the remainder is 0, then you have to continue to the next iteration. Else, if the remainder is not 0, that time you just print the number. I am just saying, this is outside the loop, this is inside the loop. Understood? Now see, only the odd numbers are printed. Whenever even number comes, it skips and goes to the next iteration. It is not abruptly cutting out the loop. Understood the difference between break and continue? Okay. Let us move on to the next. Okay. Introduction to functions in Python. Okay. What are functions in Python? Previously we were seeing many functions in Python for list, tuple, everything, right? So we were not introduced into that topic until now. Okay. Now we will see the definition of a function. Okay. A function in Python is a block which is reusable code designed to perform a specific task. Okay. It is serving as a named unit of code that encapsulates a sequence of statements to accomplish a particular operation or computation. When called, it executes a defined task and may optionally return a value or perform some action. Okay. Functions allow you to do a set of operations repeatedly. Okay. For example, I'll just give an example of a function. See here. A function should be defined like this. It should be starting with the keyword def. After that, a function name. Name of the function. Great. Inside this, you can have parameters for the function. Okay. In this function, I am just saying print hello plus I am printing this name here dynamically. Okay, plus okay, this is what is called a function. Now if I want to call this function, I'll just say greet of see what it is doing. I am just calling this function with the parameter inside it. This name, this value is passed into this parameter of the function and it is getting printed here. Okay, this is how we define a function in Python. Okay, the next is the purpose and importance of function. Okay, encapsulation. The first one is function encapsulate a set of operations into a single unit, bundling related tasks together. All the tasks that are related to one particular operation will be combined in a function. Okay, this encapsulation promotes code organization by grouping the related functionality, making the code base more structured and easier to navigate. Okay, by encapsulating the functionality, it helps to isolate the implementation details of specific tasks in our applications, allowing the developer to focus on higher level design and logic of the program. The next is code reusability. Okay, whenever we need that function to be called, we can just call that function by its name in many places of our application, right? See, reusing function reduces redundancy and it promotes efficiency as developers can leverage existing functionality rather than inventing the new function for each and every functionality. Okay, it also leads to more maintainable and scalable code bases as updates or improvements to functions are automatically propagated when it is used. The next is abstraction. Okay, functions abstract away the implementation details of a task, providing a high level interface for users to interact with. Okay, users of a function only need to know the purpose and how to use it. Okay, without needing to understand the underlying logic inside the function. That is what is called abstraction. Just you take and use the function. You don't need to know what is there inside the function. For example, you were doing slicing, all those things, right? So for that and all you were using functions, right? So those are all string function or list function. Append of is a function, right? So those are all coding is done already and it is developed as a function, inbuilt function in Python. You can just take and use it. You don't want to know the logic behind it. You just need to know append is used for adding elements to the list or string or something, right? The next is modularity. Function promotes modular programming by breaking down complex tasks into simple and smaller manageable components. It facilitates collaboration among team members as different developers can work on separate functions independently, reducing conflicts and streamlining the development efforts. Okay. So the next is the types of function. So there are two basic type of functions in Python. The first is built-in functions. The second one is user-defined functions. Okay, what are these built-in functions and user-defined functions? Okay, built-in functions, which are predefined functions provided by Python for very common tasks. Okay, these are already developed and it is available in Python. They cover a wide range of functionality including mathematical operations, string manipulation, input output type conversions and etc. Okay, So built-in functionality, what are the advantage of this is, these are readily available for use without requiring any declaration. They can be directly used from the Python code without needing for the external modules. Okay. Examples of built-in functions are print, len, max, min, sum, range. All these things are examples for built-in function. Print of function that we use here, right? Print. This is a built-in function in Python. And we have this length, right? For example, now I'll say print what it is showing, the length of this list it is showing. This length of is a function, built-in function in Python. Likewise, you can say print of max of list. So what it is giving, maximum number in this list it is printing. Minimum, this also is a built-in function, min of list. Minimum number in that list will be shown. These are all the built-in function in Python. Okay, the next is user-defined functions. So this user-defined functions are created by the user to perform specific tasks as needed. They allow developers to encapsulate reusable code into named units, promoting code reusability. Okay, so these functions are all built-in functions, right? User-defined function is, suppose we want to introduce a new functionality into our application. So that time we will be defining our own function. That is what I previously showed, right? Your function has to start like this. Your function and definition has to start like this, and you should be having a function name followed by a parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis you can have parameters. After this you have to have colon. Inside this you have to have the function logic. Okay, this is how a function should be defined. This is the user defined function. Okay, so we will see a simple example for user defined function now. So for calculating the area, def calculate underscore area of length comma width. Okay, this is a function. This will take input as length and width. With the length and width we have to calculate the area. Area is equal to length into width. Okay, so what I will say, return, we can return the result also from the function. Okay, after this what I will do, I will call this function here. Now I am calculating the area for the rectangle. So I am saying length is equal to 5, width is equal to 3. Length of the rectangle and width of the rectangle is this. Now I will be calculating the area of rectangle. Area of rectangle equal to, instead of writing the formula here, what I will say, just I will say calculate area. Calculate area of length comma width. It will be taking these two as parameters and it will be calling this function. Now what I will say, print area of rectangle. See, 5 3s are 15. It is going inside this, calculating, and it is returning the area which will be stored in this area of rectangle. When I print this area of rectangle, it will be printing the result. Okay, likewise, if you want to calculate the area of rectangle for different length and width, you don't want to write this function each and every time. You just want to calculate, call this function each and every time. Only one time definition can be used multiple times. Okay, so now you understood what a function is. Okay, so we have reached the end of the session. Okay, thank you all for joining this today's session on basics of Python programming. Hope you found this session informative and engaging. Remember, learning to code is continuous process, so don't hesitate to explore further and practice regularly. Most importantly, have fun with it. If you have any questions or would you like any clarification on the topic that we covered today, please feel free to reach out to me. Okay, thank you once again and best of luck on your Python coding adventure. Okay, thank you all.